And now away from judicial matters, now to politics, the northern stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party say they have adopted a consensus candidate to represent the North for the position of national chairman at the party's November 15th convention scheduled to hold in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. The stakeholders announced the nomination of Kabiru Turaki, a senior advocate of Nigeria from Kebbi State, who will be presented at the convention to lead the party. That is according to the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, after a closed-door meeting held on Wednesday night in Abuja. He, however, clarified that the decision does not preclude other aspirants from contesting, noting that the party's constitution guarantees every member the right to test their popularity at the convention. Governor Fintiri assured the PDP National Convention will be rancor-free, adding that nominations for other positions zoned to the north will be decided at the zonal level.
As the northern leaders and representative of each of the states in the north, we have met this evening to deliberate and take decision on the office of the chairman of our great party, the PDP, which was zoned to the north. And in our meeting, we have reflected deeply and widely through consultation, and going to Ibadan for our national convention, we have adopted a consensus candidate to represent the North and by extension Nigeria as the chairman of the PDP. And that gentleman is Kabiru Turaki, SAN. This is our decision this evening, and he is the person we are presenting at that convention as our chairman to represent our party on the 15th and 16th of August in November in Ibadan.
Joining me live in the studio is the PDP chieftain, Mr. Anthony Ehilebo. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
So, Mr. Anthony, the Northern elders have, chosen Mr. Turaki to represent at the PDP convention coming up. Is there any storm brewing, and do you think PDP can survive it?
Well, when you talk about survival, PDP is that cockroach, they say, that can survive even a Holocaust, that can survive a nuclear, because it was built to last. They're built as a party that has several shock absorbers. I know a lot of people didn't give PDP a chance to get to this point that it has gotten to. Certainly, with the gale of defections, everyone thought that was the end of PDP and it wouldn't get to this point where an aggregate number of leaders in the north come together and say, this is who we represent. So that has removed a lot of friction and contestation. And I like the way you started, or the prelude to this conversation, that they didn't preclude anybody from contesting. So they're still open to democracy or democratic norms. You can still contest. But we always tell people PDP is a leadership party. It relies heavily on the leaders that it has to come together and take decisions, and that it feels is in the best interest, and it's collegiate. So, I mean, looking at your screen, you saw the governor of Zamfara State, you saw the governor of Bauchi State, you saw the governor of Adamawa State as well, all coming together and saying this is who we're presenting as the candidate from the north. There are other candidates as well. I know that there's McCarthy and some other people, and eminently so qualified. But when you want to look at the person that they've zeroed in on, I remember coming up in the PDP, this is 10, 15 years ago. Kabiru Turaki was a shining light. He was said to be the youngest, one of the youngest ministers in the Jonathan cabinet at the time, and one of the youngest SANs also so appointed. He served in several committees. So I personally, when I heard the news, I was a bit relieved that they had finally found someone with the capacity, the character and the qualities
Mr.
for a chairman.
Sorry to cut you, but some PDP members that are loyal to the FCT minister say that the next leader should come from the North Central, and Mr. Turaki is from the Northwest, rather. Does that contradict anything at all?
Knowing that the party is in a place where we are not totally oblivious of insidious and, quite frankly, usurpers within the party, it will be cautious of us not to dwell on people's who have seen have not had good intentions for the party, their wishes and aspirations. If that particular set of people are insisting that the chairman comes from the North Central, where were they when the North Central, which was supposed to have been naturally replacing the chairman that left from the North Central from Benue State, where were they? What happened to such agitation at the time? And now you want to go back. I find no basis for it. And to be very honest, I think this is a step in the right direction. And one of those steps that I'm happy to see. As a PDP member, and this is quite most likely one of the first times I've chosen to come back again and speak for the party, because if you genuinely love the party, you take a step back and let things play out. And it's playing out quite nicely as far as I'm concerned. I'm not really worried about all the other things because, like I said, the PDP has a way of getting the Nigerian people to back it.
You say you're not worried, but we see a lot of defections now. You know, even as we're having this conversation, from PDP to the ruling party, does that pose any danger? Knowing that, you know, the election period is coming up, does that pose any crisis for the party at all?
Well, if you want to be realistic, it is really a danger point for the party. But it's also a wake-up call to the party. Don't forget the people defecting. I mean, a governor defects, he's just one person. He has people in his cabinet, yes, that's that. But you've seen governors who have lost their states woefully to opposition leaders. Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State. The state had everybody in the other party, but he still won the election. That's a classic example. Politics is about people. And if PDP can refocus its agenda, its entire makeup to reflect that it is concerned about the interest of the people will definitely align behind it because they are looking for hope. The people at this point in time are not in any way happy with the government of today. I don't think there's anybody that will really go and support what we have currently today in Nigeria. The decadence, the corruption, in fact, Nigeria has never had it so bad. Nobody in Nigeria ever saw that we will be buying petrol today at 950. Yes, you needed to remove, but the price gap, the fact that the economy is not catching up with the sort of prices we're seeing. If you're taking price from 160 for petrol, that's a commodity I'm using as an example, has the salary of the average Nigerian gone in such multiples? Because if it hasn't, then there's a disproportionate agenda here. So I think a government that can come in, if the PDP proposes such, that can, even if you're going to say you want to first focus on the best economic principles, we also think of the economic principles that suits the pockets of the average Nigerian. And that's what we've not seen. And that's what the hope Nigerians are looking forward to. As of 2015, when PDP left power, everything in Nigeria was totally different today. What we're looking forward to, and which is why we're presenting, I see that the North is presenting a character in the person of Kabiru Turaki, an SAN, one of the youngest ministers that has served, a former secretary of the BOT. He has institutional memory. He has the experience.
Yeah, I see you're selling Mr. Turaki so to the viewers. But however, let me ask you.
It's not about selling him, it's selling the party's potential.
In 30 seconds, Mr. Ahilebo, talk to us about how this court judgment whether it will hamper the upcoming convention.
Court judgment?
Yes.
Of course, you know that people go forum shopping when it comes to party affairs, and that's just mischief, pure mischief. I think that the convention will hold to the naysayers. I think that PDP will find its feet, and the ruling party has been accused of putting its fingers in different parties. And, you know, when the baby cries at night, when the witch cries at night and the baby dies in the morning, who do we hold? You know, but I see a ray of light. I was in the PDP in 2015 when the APC was trying to be formed, or when they were trying to get together. And some of us urged the leadership, the presidency at the time, that please do not interfere in the formation of an opposition. A country needs opposition at every point in time. And the country needs PDP to be active. Anybody wishing that we don't hold the convention does not wish well for Nigeria.
Thank you for joining us in the studio and helping Nigerians understand this story better.